Is Jim Bob's most loyal daughter finally running away? Rumors of Jessa and Ben buying a house in California has just exploded. For years, we have watched Jessa Seewald stand as the iron pillar of the Duggar family, the one daughter who never wavered, never rebelled, and always seemed to have her father's back no matter how deep the scandals ran. But lately, the silence coming from the Seewald household is deafening. While the rest of the world is focused on the fallout of the documentary and the constant courtroom battles, Jessa has quietly retreated from the spotlight, leaving fans to wonder if she is finally planning her ultimate escape. The evidence is mounting, and the whispers from Northwest Arkansas is turning into a roar. Could the most obedient daughter be about to join the resistance in Los Angeles? Before we dive deep into the secret property listings and the hidden clues Jessa left in her recent videos, I want to take a quick second to invite you to join our community. If you love staying ahead of every Duggar update and getting the exclusive theories that the mainstream media misses, please hit that like button and subscribe to Jenny Expose right now. Your support helps us keep digging for the truth that the family tries to keep hidden. Now let's get back to the bombshell that is rocking the fundamentalist world. For over a decade, Jessa has been the face of the Duggar brand. When the family faced their darkest hours, it was Jessa who sat on the couch and defended the lifestyle. She stayed local, she married a man approved by the patriarch, and she settled into a small fixer-upper house just minutes away from the big house. She was the one who followed every rule, from the modest dress code to the strict courtship guidelines. But something has shifted. The loyalist narrative is starting to crumble, and it all begins with the silence. In the world of social media influencers, silence is rarely just a break. It is usually a pivot. Jessa's YouTube channel, which used to be a consistent stream of home renovations and parenting tips, has gone strangely quiet. When Jessa stops posting, it's not because she has nothing to say, it's because she is busy making moves behind the scenes. Rumors have been swirling for months that Ben Seewald is looking for a fresh start. As a pastor and a student of theology, Ben has always been somewhat in the shadow of the Duggar shadow. But recent reports from sources close to the family suggest that Ben has been looking at positions outside of Arkansas, specifically positions in Southern California. This isn't just a random guess. Eagle-eyed fans have spotted Ben and Jessa in the background of several Los Angeles-based social media posts that weren't meant for public consumption. While Ginger and Jeremy Vuolo have made LA their home and their personal brand, Jessa has always played the role of the humble Arkansas housewife. However, the tension within the family hierarchy is reaching a breaking point. The theory suggests that Jessa is tired of being the family's shield. Every time a new scandal breaks involving her siblings or her father's business dealings, Jessa is the one the public looks to for a statement. She is the one who has to carry the weight of the family reputation while raising her children in a fishbowl. Moving to California wouldn't just be a change of scenery. It would be a total declaration of independence. We've seen Ginger flourish in the California sun, wearing pants, attending trendy churches, and writing her own narrative. Is it possible that Jessa, the sister who was always considered the leader of the girls, is jealous of that freedom? Or perhaps she's not jealous, but inspired. The biggest piece of the puzzle involves a rumored property listing. In the world of real estate, nothing stays secret for long. Whispers have emerged about a modest but modern home in the San Fernando Valley that was recently viewed by a high-profile religious couple from the South. While the name on the deed hasn't been confirmed as Seewald yet, the timing aligns perfectly with Jessa's disappearance from the public eye. People who have followed the Duggars for years know that when they are about to make a big announcement, they go dark. They scrub their social media of current locations, and they wait for the right moment to sell the story. But this time, it feels different. This doesn't feel like a programmed TLC announcement. This feels like a getaway. Think about the dynamics at play here. Jim Bob Duggar has always used financial support as a way to keep his children close. He provides the land, he provides the houses, and in return, he expects total loyalty. Jessa and Ben have lived in a house that was essentially part of the family portfolio for years. But if the rumors are true and Jim Bob has started cutting off funds to those who don't align perfectly with his new legal strategies, Jessa might find herself in a position where she has to choose: stay and struggle under her father's thumb, or leave and build a life of her own. California represents everything the traditional Duggar lifestyle is against. It is liberal, It is flashy, and it is far, far away from the prying eyes of the Tontitown elders. If Jessa moves, she isn't just moving for a house, she is moving for a new identity. Fans have already noticed subtle changes in her behavior during her rare appearances. Her tone is different. Her focus has shifted from the family unit to her own immediate children. And then there is the Ginger factor. Ginger and Jessa have always been close, but since Ginger moved to LA, there has been a visible distance, not just physically, but ideologically. Or so we thought. What if they haven't been growing apart, but rather, Ginger has been laying the groundwork for Jessa to join her? Imagine the power shift. The two most famous Duggar sisters, both living in the heart of the media world, far away from the Arkansas compound. This would be Jim Bob's worst nightmare. He lost Ginger to the worldly influence of the West Coast, but losing Jessa would be the final nail in the coffin of his control. Jessa is the one who knows where the bodies are buried, so to speak. She knows the inner workings of the family business better than anyone. If she leaves, she takes all that institutional knowledge with her. We also have to look at Ben's role in this. Ben has always been an outsider who tried his best to fit in. He took the classes, he did the work, and he stayed in line. But Ben is also a man who wants to lead his own family. In the Duggar world, the father-in-law often looms larger than the husband. By moving to California, Ben finally gets to be the head of his household without Jim Bob looking over his shoulder. It's a move for his career, but it's also a move for his dignity. The rumors suggest he has been in talks with several ministries in the LA area that are a far cry from the restrictive environment of their current circle. These ministries are modern, they are tech-savvy, and they offer a platform that Arkansas simply can't provide. But why the secrecy? Why not just announce the move? The answer lies in the way the Duggar family operates. Everything is a negotiation. If Jessa is indeed moving, there is likely a massive behind-the-scenes battle over her exit. Does she keep her ties to the family businesses? Does she sign a new non-disclosure agreement? Is Jim Bob trying to block the move by withholding her share of previous filming earnings? The silence on YouTube isn't just a vacation, it's a standoff. Jessa is waiting for the right moment to play her hand, and the fans are waiting with bated breath. Every time Jessa is spotted in a grocery store or a park in Arkansas lately, she looks like she's ready to bolt. The smiles in the photos look forced, and the captions on her rare posts feel hollow. Contrast that with the leaked photos of her visiting Ginger in LA. In those candid shots, Jessa looks relaxed. She looks like a woman who sees a future that doesn't involve modest denim skirts and constant surveillance. The California Jessa theory isn't just wishful thinking from fans who want to see her break free. It's a logical conclusion based on the patterns of a woman who has spent her whole life playing a part and is finally ready to retire from the stage. As we look at the logistics, a move of this magnitude takes months of planning. You don't just pack up a family of 6 and move across the country on a whim. You need a landing spot. You need a support system. Ginger is that support system. Jeremy Vuolo, with his connections in the California church scene, is the bridge. The Seewalds have been laying the tracks for this move for over a year, hidden in plain sight. They've been downsizing their belongings, they've been traveling more for fun, and they've been distancing themselves from the weekly family gatherings at the big house. The signs are all there if you know where to look. The deeper we dig into this, the more the financial trail starts to tell a story that Jessa would never admit to on camera. For years, the Duggar children have been trapped in a cycle of generational wealth that comes with very heavy strings attached. Jim Bob Duggar has been the ultimate gatekeeper of the family's earnings from their years on reality TV. It's no secret that a major chance they have to point of contention among the adult children is where that money actually went. Derek Dillard, Jill's husband, was the first to pull back the curtain on the lack of compensation, and since then, we've seen a slow-motion rebellion. But Jessa? Jessa was always the one who stayed quiet, presumably because she was being taken care of. However, our exclusive theory suggests that the care has reached its expiration date. The move to California isn't just a lifestyle choice. It is a massive financial gamble. In Northwest Arkansas, the cost of living is low, especially when your father owns half the county. But Los Angeles? That requires a level of independent capital that the Seewalds have never publicly displayed. This leads us to the trust fund rumor. There has been talk in inner circles that Jessa, being the most loyal and the most involved in the family brand, negotiated a private settlement or a buyout of her interests in the family's various LLCs. If Jessa is moving to California, she's doing it with a war chest that Jim Bob can't touch. This is a total reversal of the Duggar playbook. Usually, you stay in Arkansas to keep the money. Jessa might be taking the money to get out of Arkansas. And let's talk about the visual clues that have been hiding in plain sight. For those of you who follow Jessa on social media, have you noticed the change in her surroundings lately? In her rare life update snippets, the familiar background of her Arkansas home, the one they spent so much time renovating, is suspiciously absent. Instead, we see neutral walls, packed-up corners, and a lack of the usual homesteading clutter. Even more telling is what she's selling. Local Arkansas Facebook marketplace groups have been buzzing with listings for high-end furniture and baby gear that look remarkably like the items seen in the Seewald home. When a mother of 4 starts offloading her heavy furniture, she isn't just redecorating, she's lightening the load for a cross-country haul. But the biggest indicator is the Ginger effect. We have to look at the influence Ginger and Jeremy have had on the Seewalds. During Jessa's last visit to Los Angeles, the footage she released was carefully edited, but the leaks from other people's stories told a different story. Jessa wasn't just there as a tourist. She was seen at a local California park with a real estate agent. Not just any agent, but a specialist in private, high-security residential properties. Why would Jessa need a high-security property? Because she knows that the moment her move becomes official, the paparazzi and the critics will be looking for her. She is seeking the kind of anonymity that Ginger has managed to find in the sprawl of LA. An anonymity that is impossible to find in a small town like Tontitown, where everyone knows her last name and her family's history. There is also the psychological aspect of the loyal daughter burden. For years, Jessa has been the one to clean up the messes. When Josh's scandals broke, Jessa was put on the front lines to do the interviews. When the family's reputation was in the gutter, Jessa was the one posting wholesome content to distract the masses. Imagine the burnout. Imagine the resentment building up as she watches her sisters like Ginger and Jill live their lives, wear what they want, and speak their truths while she has to remain the perfect Duggar. The move to California is her way of saying, I'm done being the family's PR representative. In LA, she can be Jessa Seewald, not just Jessa Duggar, daughter of Jim Bob. This brings us to the most anticipated question of all, the lifestyle shift. We saw Ginger trade the denim skirts for blazers and jeans almost immediately after moving away. Will Jessa do the same? Our theory suggests that Jessa's transformation will be even more dramatic. Jessa has always been the most alpha of the sisters. If she decides to break the dress code, she won't do it subtly. We might be looking at a complete rebrand. A California Jessa who embraces modern fashion, perhaps even explores a career in media that isn't tied to her father's production companies. This is what scares Jim Bob the most. It's one thing for a rebel child to leave. It's another thing entirely for the golden child to defect. And let's look at Ben's career. In Arkansas, Ben is a big fish in a very small, very conservative pond. But Ben has always had intellectual ambitions. He's been seen reading complex theology and following pastors who are a far cry from the IBLP roots of the Duggar family. Los Angeles is a hub for progressive conservative ministries, churches that hold on to traditional values but express them in a modern, culturally relevant way. Ben could thrive in an environment like the Master's Seminary or similar institutions in Southern California. This move gives Ben a chance to finally have a calling that is his own, rather than a role that was handed to him by his father-in-law. The tension within the family has reportedly reached a fever pitch during recent holiday gatherings. Sources claim that Jessa and Ben have been noticeably absent from the large big house dinners, opting instead to spend time with Ben's family or in smaller, private settings. This distancing is a classic precursor to a move. You pull away emotionally before you pull away physically. The rumor mill suggests that there was a specific final straw event, a disagreement over the family's legal strategies, or perhaps a clash over how the grandchildren are being raised. Whatever it was, it seems to have been the catalyst that pushed Jessa to finally say yes to the California dream. If you look at the timing of Ginger's latest book and media tour, she has been very vocal about disentangling from the family's old beliefs. In almost every interview, she mentions how much she loves having her sisters visit. But lately, her tone has changed from, "I wish they would visit," to, "I can't wait for what's coming next." Is she dropping hints? Is she the one who convinced Jessa that the grass really greener on the West Coast? The bond between Ginger and Jessa has always been the strongest in the family. They were a duo for years, and it only makes sense that they would want to be together again. However, moving to LA isn't all sunshine and palm trees. It's a culture shock. Jessa has lived in a bubble her entire life. In Arkansas, she is royalty. In California, she is just another person with a reality TV past. How will she handle the transition? How will Ben handle being in a place that is so diametrically opposed to the world he grew up in? This is the middle payoff of our story. The realization that this move isn't just about a house, it's about a total dismantling of their previous existence. They are prepared to lose their standing in the Tontitown community for a shot at a private life in the hills. We also have to consider the TLC factor. While Counting On was canceled, there are always rumors of new projects or solo spin-offs. If Jessa and Ben are indeed moving to California, could they be filming their own journey? A Jessa and Ginger Take LA type of show would be a massive hit and would provide the financial independence they need. But if they are doing this, it means they are doing it without Jim Bob as the executive producer. That is the ultimate act of defiance. Taking the brand that he built and moving it to a different state under different management. As we look toward the final pieces of this puzzle, the evidence is becoming undeniable. The silence on YouTube, the furniture sales, the secret trips to LA, and the growing distance from the Duggar compound all point to one thing: an exit strategy. Jessa is no longer the most loyal daughter. She is a woman who has realized that her loyalty was being used against her, and she is finally ready to claim her own life. But the biggest twist is yet to come. It's not just about where she's going, it's about what she's leaving behind, and the bridge she might be burning on her way out of Arkansas. The most shocking part of this entire transition isn't just the location change, it's the massive power vacuum it leaves behind in Arkansas. For years, Jim Bob Duggar has relied on Jessa to be the glue holding the family's public image together. But sources close to the Tontitown circle suggest that the patriarch is absolutely reeling. The rumor is that Jim Bob has officially threatened to cut off all future financial inheritances for any child who moves more than a few hours away from the big house. This is a classic control tactic, but for the first time, it's not work. Jessa has reportedly seen the success Ginger has had with her book deals and her independent sponsorships, and she's realized that she doesn't need her father's permission or his money to survive. This leads us to the question everyone is asking. If Jessa moves to California, will she finally ditch the strict lifestyle she's been forced to maintain? For years, Jessa has been the modesty police of the family, often seen as the one most committed to the family's rigid dress code. But the California Jessa theory suggests a total 180. We've already seen her experimenting with slightly more modern looks in her recent rare uploads, but moving to LA would be the ultimate green light. Will we see Jessa wearing pants? Will she cut her hair? Will she finally embrace a life that isn't dictated by the IBLP's basic seminar rules? The stakes couldn't be higher. If Jessa changes, it signals to the rest of the world and her remaining siblings that the Duggar era as we knew it is officially over. The logistics of this secret move are reportedly being handled with military-grade precision. Insiders claim that Ben and Jessa have been utilizing a private storage facility in a neighboring town to slowly move their belongings out of their house, avoiding any suspicion from local fans or family members who might drive by their home. This explains why recent glimpses of their Arkansas follow, the house looks so empty. They aren't just cleaning, they are staged for a quick exit. The rumored LA property listing, which reportedly has Ben's name associated with a private trust, is situated in a quiet, family-oriented neighborhood not far from the Vuolos. This wouldn't just be a move. It would be a merger of the two most powerful Duggar rebels. But why now? Why, after all these years of loyalty, would Jessa finally break? The answer might lie in the recent legal troubles and the documentaries that have brought the family's secrets back into the light. It's one thing to defend your family when you're a teenager. It's another thing entirely when you're a mother of 4 looking at the legacy you want to leave for your own children. Jessa reportedly wants her kids to grow up with the same opportunities and freedom that Ginger's children have. She wants them to go to real schools, have diverse friends, and live in a world that isn't defined by their grandfather's shadow. Jim Bob's reaction to these rumors has been described as explosive. There are whispers that he has tried to intervene by offering Ben a larger role in the family's real estate business, or even a new, larger plot of land to build a dream home in Arkansas. But the Seewalds seem to be standing their ground. The silent treatment Jessa has been giving her YouTube audience is the same silent treatment she is reportedly giving the family leadership. She is done negotiating. She is done being the face of a brand she no longer believes in. As we wrap up this exclusive look into the Seewalds' potential escape, we have to look at the stockbox evidence. In a deleted, then re-uploaded clip from a few weeks ago, sharp-eyed viewers spotted a stack of professional moving boxes in the background of Jessa's hallway. These weren't just random grocery store boxes. They were the heavy-duty kind used for long-distance shipping. When you combine that with the Hollywood sign visual she's been hinting at in her choice of dream destination conversations, the picture becomes clear. Jessa isn't just visiting California, she's becoming a Californian. This move marks the final collapse of the united Duggar front. With Jill long gone, Ginger in LA, and now Jessa, the most loyal of them all, fleeing to the West, Jim Bob is losing his grip on the narrative. The exclusive theories we've discussed today aren't just guesses. They are a response to a series of events that show a woman finally reaching her breaking point. Jessa Seewald is ready for her close-up, but it won't be on her father's terms. It will be on hers. The Jenny Exposé team will be watching the property records and social media tags closely over the next few weeks. If a for sale sign hits the lawn of that Arkansas fixer-upper, we will be the first to let you know. But for now, all signs point to the Seewalds trading the Ozarks for the Pacific Coast, and honestly, it's about time. Jessa has spent her life serving a system that didn't always serve her. If California is where she finds her voice, then we can't wait to hear what she has to say. The transition from a fundamentalist compound to the heart of Los Angeles is the ultimate fish-out-of-water story. But Jessa is no ordinary fish. She is a survivor, a strategist, and now, it seems, a Californian in the making. The move of Jim Bob's most loyal daughter is the plot twist that no one, not even the most seasoned Duggar watchers, saw coming. But the evidence is there, the motive is clear, and the bags are reportedly packed. Before we go, I want to hear from you because your theories are just as important as ours. This is a massive shift for the family and for Jessa personally. Do you think Jessa will finally change her lifestyle in LA? Or will she tries to keep the Duggar traditions alive in the middle of Hollywood? And do you think Jim Bob will ever forgive her for this ultimate betrayal? Let us know in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and your insights often help us find the next big lead. Don't forget to like this video if you want more deep dives into the secret lives of the Duggar family. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss a bombshell update. We have a lot more coming on the rest of the siblings, and some very strange developments at the big house that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching Jenny Exposé, where we find the truth that's hidden in plain sight. We'll see you in the next one.